Because I've been in Perth, it's been about 4 months since I've ridden down Bridge Road, and oops, yep, got to watch out for the pedestrians crossing between the cars. But I thought I would ride from Five Dock over to the fish markets via Bridge Road, just because, well, I mean, I didn't really want any fish at the fish markets, but I thought I'd go and have a look and see if anything had changed since I was last here in early to mid-December. Now, one reason why I ride to the fish markets rather than driving is Sydney traffic, and just going through this area of, God, what is this, Leichhardt? I'm not really sure. But it's always slow. It's always a shocker. And I mean, you got to pay to park at the fish markets. You might go there and spend $20 buying a couple of bits and pieces, and have to spend a couple of bucks to park the car, which doesn't seem to be good value to me. Anyway, I just thought I'd play this at normal speed to show what it's like going through here normally, with just all the stops and starts due to the traffic. And it doesn't matter if you're driving or riding, you're not moving terribly quickly, and sometimes this is just completely gridlocked and you just zip down the side on the bike because, well, you can. Now, one other thing I just wanted to show is how easy it is while you're on the way to just duck in and do some incidental shopping. And I'm coming down here, I'm thinking, oh crikey, I'm halfway through changing some washers in the bathroom and I don't have the right washers, and there's a hardware shop right there, nice little local non-Bunnings useful hardware shop. Not that Bunnings isn't useful, but this one seems to be pretty damn good. And I just popped in here and leant the bike up against some stuff there, and in I went. And it took me from leaning the bike up against there to coming back out again about 3 minutes. Now, that was pretty good going, if you ask me, because originally all I wanted was some brass washers or copper washers, and then I decided, I need some O-rings as well to go with it. So I went back in, paid, I don't know, $18 or something, and I was gone. That's it. Transaction done. Back on the bike, we're out of there. Compare that to driving somewhere, trying to find a parking spot. You never get to park out the front like that. You got to then walk whatever distance to the shop after you've parked, do your stuff, walk back, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, here we are on Bridge Road. What's changed? Well, that entrance is still quite narrow, and that's because I'm going to plug this video here to stop drivers driving in the bike lane, and it does happen. And look over on the left there, you can see one of the fluorescent marker things has been knocked off. Clearly, some drivers are having a problem coming along here and actually staying in their lane, because that's the only way I can see those things being knocked out. Now, first thing I noticed coming in here, the lane is pretty grubby, and by that I mean there's lots of leaf litter and gravel and grit and other stuff in there. And I understand the reason that's still happening is City of Sydney, there's some more knocked over. Neither the City of Sydney or the RMS has cleaning machines which are narrow enough to fit in these lanes. Now, I guess if you're in somewhere like Copenhagen or Amsterdam or one of those places with lots of narrow bike lanes, they would have narrow purpose-built machines to do this. And, it makes economic sense to do that. If you've got hundreds of miles of these narrow lanes that need cleaning, you'd go and buy a machine that's fit for purpose. But obviously with temporary pop-up lanes, until these things become permanent and we know how wide they're going to be, there's really no sense in spending the money on buying a machine which might only be of service for a year or two before they go, are we going to take the lanes out, or are we going to rebuild them and make them wider? What's the point of this machine which was only useful for these narrow lanes? So yeah, it's just a problem we've got to deal with in the meantime. I mean, the only way you could really clean these would be for a couple of people to walk along here with blower vacuum things and just blow all the stuff out of the bike lane, I guess, onto the road, where a street sweeper could again come along and pick it up. Or I guess you could use big vacuum things. Okay, there's a counter, which is looking a bit worse for wear. I'm going to plug another video here. I did two when I was in Perth on the bike counters they've got over there. And they've got 45 permanent bike counters around the CBD. And quite interesting to see how they do their data collection over there. Anyway, where we're coming along here, you can see the road surface is much cleaner because obviously the normal street sweepers can get in here and clean it up. And I guess you can also see I'm easily keeping up with the traffic coming through here because it's congested and it's not moving that fast. Now, as I was coming down here, there were a couple of vehicles pulling out from my left. Oh, there's a wonky looking thing on the right there looking like it's about to come out. I guess that's been run over a few times. Yeah, what I did when I saw a vehicle coming from the left is I rang my bell and make sure the driver looked at me, turned their head and looked. Oh, there's a flattened one as well. And kind of acknowledged my existence. And they didn't pull out into the bike lane, which is a problem I was seeing 4 months ago, where drivers had come out of those side streets, just ignore the bike lane, drive right into it, and that's where you could be coming down the hill and just run straight into their front quarter panel or their driver's door if they popped out right in front of you, which would not be a good thing. Now, maybe drivers who are locals are getting used to the idea of there being a bike lane there, and they are not pulling out into the bike lane when they come out of those side streets. I don't know. Anyway, there doesn't seem to be really any change to the bike lane infrastructure going that way since I was last here. Still haven't gotten around to fixing up the path along there, so you just ride on the road. It's just that last little bit. Have a look at how many bikes are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I make 14. And so it seems to be more bikes here parked than ever before. And I mean, this is another reason why you would ride here, because I'm parking here at the front door, I'm taking off my helmet, I'm chaining the helmet and the bike to the rail, taking off my gloves, and the last thing I'll do is turn off the cameras front and rear. And it doesn't really take very long. So people might think, oh God, look at the effort it takes to lock the bike up. Yeah, well, how much effort does it take to drive into the car park, get a ticket as you're going in, look for a parking spot, find a parking spot, park the car, then walk from the car whatever distance across the car park to the shops and do your shopping, and then reverse that on the way back. I mean, yeah, you might have keyless entry or locking or whatever you want to call it, where you can just go boop boop and easily lock and unlock the car, but it's nothing beats the flexibility of having a bike where you can park right at the doorstep. And when I pulled up there was a family sitting at the table having lunch, and the dad asked me, oh, what sort of bike is that? Is it a gravel bike? Blah, blah, blah. And we had a chat for a while. Again, cyclists are very social kind of people compared to drivers. Now, getting out of here, I rode back down the footpath because I wanted to go back around Blackwattle Bay. And I think this is just an easier way, rather than crossing here at the lights, riding down the road, and then crossing back in again at the far end. But I guess that was kind of a mistake, because this footpath is a crowded disaster area and I wouldn't recommend it. But that means I don't have any footage of the trip back up Bridge Road. That'll just have to wait for another day.